Welcome to Theater Corner, brother.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here, man.
Having done stage, which I'm assuming that's obviously your foundation.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference? What do you feel the biggest difference? You doing stage and then doing television, being in front of the camera?
The difference is the audience maybe 10 feet away from me. That's probably the closest they'll be in stage. And in camera, if the camera was a person, I'd be able to smell their breath.
Oh, okay.
Like the camera's in your face, like the camera can be, not every shot.
Right.
But the camera's in your face. So it's like me being on camera, I'm having to micro manage in a sense. Because, your big expressive moments might be overdone.
Oh, yeah, I get
Looking
you.
back on camera.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it's a lot more precise, a lot more specific, and oftentimes smaller, because you're not having to make your energy travel. You're not having to communicate to the person in the back row, like they're right there. So yeah, it's very more, feels a lot more like a technical medium in that way for a person like me.
How has the theater informed what you do in front of the camera, or has it, or hasn't it?
Oh, 100.
Okay.
It definitely informs. There are things you can get away with on a stage that you cannot get away with on camera.
It seems like someone who's not an actor like myself, seems like it would be the other way around.
Like for the stage, right? The person in the back row might not be able to see you, like if I'm looking at you, might not be able to see your attention go here and then come back. But if a camera's like looking at you, the smallest moments, like if you lose concentration for a split second, that means something now.
Right.
And not saying it doesn't mean anything on stage, but you have to be so much more precise. That camera becomes a stage in itself.
There's this one particular character you played, Lemieux. Is that how to pronounce it? Yeah. And Fargo. This series Fargo, where you played Chris Rock, the character Chris Rock played. You played his son.
Another crazy blessing. Yeah.
My goodness, but that was some powerful stuff. What was that experience like? 'Cause, I mean, Chris Rock is Chris Rock, and he's doing something somewhat different than what he typically does. What was that experience like?
It was a huge endeavor for me, not even the project in total, because of course it was such a large world. That experience for me, being able to look at someone like Chris Rock and be like, wow. First off, just realizing I'm in the same room, working on the same project, is an important thing too. But being able to see how he works, being able to see people like Glenn Turman, Ben Whishaw, Jason Schwartzman, Jesse Buckley, like all these really great artists that are great in their craft. And me being fans of these people outside of what we do. Right. And talking to them and being like, just picking their brains about stuff and them saying, I'm here and I show up, we do the work, I show up and I don't necessarily feel 100% confident with every choice that I make on set. I have things that I'm uncomfortable with that I don't really understand. And so it was a really humanizing thing for me to be able to kind of take, not saying I put them on a pedestal because I think we're all equal, but I appreciate their talent and craft, what they bring to the craft, and being able to hold that thing in my hands and look at it a little closer, be like, okay. I think that was like a huge, of course, working on a project, great, crazy blessing, but just being able to work with those type of talents.
Did they actually shoot that in Missouri?
No, they shot it in Chicago.
In Chicago?
Yeah.
You spent a lot of time in Chicago. You're doing project after project. How does that coming about?
Yeah, dude. I mean, because I've been out there for like 7 years now.
Wow.
7 years, because I went to school at DePaul, the theater school, and that was the start of my Chicago career as it is. But yeah, man, Chicago, one thing that's great about Chicago is you tend to see the same artists around. We're a very tight-knit theater, TV and film community. And I've auditioned multiple times for that casting agency, and they've seen me do work in plays.
Right.
So they know me not just when I come in, but they also see me in my stage element.
Nice.
Which is a huge advantage. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Right.
not saying it doesn't happen in LA, but LA, you know, being more TV and film, you don't often get to see, you know, like your casting people come out and see you do a play. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that definitely helped me. Definitely helped.
When did you get bitten by this acting bug? I guess we can describe it as.
Ooh, I cannot stress this enough. It's still one of my favorite TV shows. It's the Steve Harvey Show, right? My aunt on there played Regina Greer. And every night that she was on the show, we would watch it as a family. And I would watch her, and it just like, I just caught it. It just looked so fun. And I think at that time it was less about the acting. It was more about like what I was experiencing was bringing me joy.
I see.
I remember there was this time where every episode is so funny, but this particular episode was my aunt is running in slow motion, trying to stop someone from getting pied in the face. Oh. It's like a cream pie.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, you remember it?
Yes.
And it hits her face, and I was a child. I thought that actually happened to her. So I remember just like crying, like I was like bawling, and they had to tell me, no, it's not real, not that good. But it was just like the feeling of, you know, like that joyous feeling. And then later, because even now, I'm not an introvert per se, but I can be a very, I guess, a very private person in certain events. And acting, especially when I was younger, being like more introverted, it really brought me out of my shell. And my aunt also had the Performing Arts Conservatory. Amazing
Grace Conservatory.
Yeah. And that is what it is. It was an amazing grace to thousands and thousands of kids, because it was really a program, it was a little non-traditional because it took, you know, kids from the city and taught them about the arts, singing, acting, and dancing.
Right.
And that was where I first got my true appreciation for the craft as it relates to community.
Okay.
As opposed to I want to be in the shining lights and I want the this, that. It was being able to take like a kid like me who's kind of introverted and through the arts open me up, get me out of my shell, introduce me to a community that love the same thing I love, and you know the reason why I love it.
Even if one is shy, you're wearing the skin of your character, you know, so you're not really being yourself. Do you feel that that's kind of an outlet of some sort?
Absolutely.
Maybe even therapeutic in some ways.
Definitely therapeutic. It's always funny talking about like stuff that's like really close to me, because a lot of that energy, like me being nervous is not me being like closed in, but there's this energy that's like really big. And I have trouble sometimes dealing with that in public. So it's easier for me to settle into it. But wearing characters, I can take that energy and transfer it in a way that is, I'm in service to something, you know? And hopefully, even outside of just the whole acting aspect, it's being able to cultivate sympathy for a life experience. Because one thing I do enjoy about acting and really asking those questions, like what makes somebody tick, or how do I act when I'm in a room with this person? What our dynamic is because the more work I do, the more I'm able to realize that we have so much more in common than we do differences.
Right.
You know, and
human situations are human situations.
Yeah, like, and it's tragic sometimes, because I'm like, if you sat down with the person that you despise and you just had a real honest conversation about the things they fear, things that make them uncomfortable, the things they love, you know, trivial things, their favorite dessert, you like, dang, it's really hard to hate a person that you know.
True.
You know, it's really hard to hate a person, because fear thrives off of ignorance. It thrives off of not making those connections. Mm-hmm. But when you do, it's like, dang, you more like me than not.
True.
And that's what I love about acting. It's like you can play somebody who's committed a heinous crime, like a murderer, and recognize it. It's a circumstance. It's something that happened. He's no more capable of doing that than I am.
Right.
You know, and that sympathy is a really important thing for me.